This week's rental review is a car I've rented 1,000 times. Never actually bothered to review it. Jeep Wrangler. Kind of the quintessential rental car. I was going to take the doors off, but the toolkit's missing because it's a rental car. So yeah, driving the Jeep Wrangler. Probably rented 20 or 30 of these. Never actually recorded it because there's nothing of note. They're all pretty similar. Probably hear the wind noise. They're loud. They're uncomfortable. They're pretty bad on gas. Oh, that guy picked up a nice bag. That's nice. They're loud. They're pretty bad on gas. The seats are remarkably uncomfortable. Up until now, the infotainment used to suck. Now it actually works really well since they put this bigger screen in. I believe 2 model years ago they put this in, 2024. This one's a Rubicon, so it's got lockers. But interestingly enough, Rubicon gets you all the off-road goodies, but no heated seats, no heated steering wheel. It does have adaptive cruise. But yeah, the reason I rented a Jeep Wrangler is because I am going up to Yosemite. I'm actually out in Northern California this week for work, and then I'm going to be in Texas later in the week. But whenever I have to work weekends, I make sure I take some time to myself, and you know, I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to Yosemite. So I've always wanted to drive through Yosemite with the roof off, and so I was hoping to get either, you know, another Miata, try and give it a little bit of redemption, or maybe a Mustang convertible. I haven't driven the S650 generation yet. Can't imagine it's any good, but I know these things are not very good, but I do know that the top comes off, and hopefully the tools are in it, and I might even take the doors off when I get there. So yeah. Right now it's averaging 14.7 miles a gallon. That is impressive. Not good, just impressively bad. This is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, which I actually prefer over the V6. The V6 needs to rev, which is fun and fine, and you guys know I love revving, but in a vehicle like this, a turbo actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's clearly not helping with fuel economy, but having that down low torque is definitely helpful. And I always felt that the 6-cylinder felt just, you know, undermatched for with the weight of these vehicles. So yeah, we'll do some acceleration runs. Can already tell you the comfort is terrible. My back is yeah, not feeling great. But yeah, let you guys know kind of how it goes this week, and if nothing else, we'll pop this top off, maybe the doors, and have a cool tour of Yosemite. So one way or another, I'm gonna have fun one way or another. Some more driving impressions while I'm going across the Central Valley here. I've got nothing but time. You know, the reason this thing's so uncomfortable is the lack of dead pedal and where they mount the seat. I know it sounds weird, but like, not only is there no dead pedal, but you also can't put your foot back all the way. The only other vehicle I've ever been in that's had this problem, you know, some vans have this problem because you're sitting on the bulkhead, but a Honda Fit, of all things, also had this problem. This was a big reason right here, where I can't put my leg any further back than here. That's it. There's like a bulkhead blocking it. That's why I bought a Matrix over a Fit, you know, that and the 2ZZ, and the fact that the Matrix actually handles better and revs lower. But I really wanted to get a Fit. I like Fits. They're even smaller, they're even better on gas, but you know, this weird relationship between the seat with no dead pedal and nowhere to put your left leg drives me crazy. We are taking Highway 120 in. Not a lot of people go this way. Most people enter through any other way but this way. This way really only makes sense if you're coming from the Central Valley. So, yeah. But as you approach the, you know, the kind of the hills here, you definitely get a sense of how dry it is out here. Not a lot going on. But yeah, you go over these rolling hills and before you know it, you are in the park. A couple other notes. When you put this thing in manual mode, it means it. Like this in 7th here. Now it might automatically downshift because it's just below the threshold of anything, but here. So okay, I put it in 6th and I floor it and that's matted. It stays in gear. And it lets you lug it, and I really like that. I wish every automatic transmission's manual mode worked like this. Ford's works like this. BMWs work like this. Mopars work like this. Chevys don't. Volkswagens don't. Audis don't. Hyundai Kias don't. Yeah. It's weird, a manual mode that actually is a manual mode. What a concept. Even here, I could throw it in 7th. It's below 2,000 RPM, and I floor it, and there's nothing. That's to the floor, but it does not downshift. You can feel the boost kind of building. It's really nice. You actually have manual control with the with Mopar's manual mode. See, I know I'm not just talking shit about everything about this thing. I mean, most of it's pretty bad, but most of it's a Jeep. It's kind of what you expect. But the manual mode surprised me. So, yeah, there you go. You know, when you remove the roof, almost all the issues of the Jeep kind of go away. You don't realize how loud it is because you're now surrounded by wind noise. You forget about how uncomfortable it is because the view is great. Now, with that being said, would I rather be in my tracker still? Absolutely. The steering is more of like a suggestion than actual steering. The seats are still very uncomfortable. But it's hard not to smile with the roof off in anything. Unless it's an ND Miata. That thing's a piece of shit. And driving through here with the roof off, getting a view of Bright Vale Falls. Wow. Wow. Does not disappoint with the roof off. So today we're gonna go up to Glacier Point, and then I'm gonna come back tomorrow morning. Apparently you still need reservations, like it's COVID in Yosemite. Don't understand that one at all. Anyway, you need reservations, so you can only enter between before 6 a.m. or after 2 p.m. if you don't have reservations. So I am not going to go through the valley right now. I'm going to go through the valley tomorrow. But don't worry, I'll be back. We are going up to Glacier Point. So we're here at Tunnel View. I didn't really like the traffic I was rolling with anyway. I almost picked up a couple hitchhikers going up to Glacier Point, but they had one of them with the sign, and then when I pulled off, there was 6 of them that wanted to try and get in the Jeep. You know, one person I figured I'd get an interesting story, and if anything goes down, I could take them, but 6 people? No thanks. I've been here 1,000 times, and every time it inspires me just as much. Just views from the road, almost to Glacier Point. This handling, whoo! Jeep Wrangler Classic. They've got a reputation to live up to, and they did it with this imprecise steering, tremendous body roll. Oh yeah, drives like a Jeep. Welcome to Glacier Point. We'll be doing some hikes tomorrow. Up those 2 waterfalls.
Like a falls barangay. Falls. Or you rock melon now.
Gotta love the smog sunset too. Can't forget about that while I'm in California. I always remember that when I used to live here. People said, "Oh man, the sunsets are so pretty." I'm like, "Yeah, as long as you don't think about it." I did live here for a few years, not in the Central Valley. I was in Huntington Beach, but yeah, definitely miss the consistent smog sunsets. Nothing like coming into Yosemite first thing in the morning. I've been coming to Yosemite since I was a kid. We took a road trip when I was in a motorhome. I actually lived in a motorhome for 18 months when I was about 9 years old. Came to Yosemite when I was a kid, and ever since then, I wanted to come back in a convertible and drive through Yosemite Valley. Finally making it happen. And it is just as cool as I imagined. Getting a view, 360 degrees. Watching the sunrise. It is awesome. Yeah, first time I came here as an adult, my car had a sunroof, and my passenger was enjoying every moment of it, standing outside of the sunroof, telling me I have no idea what I'm missing. And you know what? Now I know what they were talking about. I really did have no idea what I was missing. Go ahead, faggot. I'm clearly enjoying myself here. Okay, anyway. Let's get some rain going here. it's always important to park next to other people that are doing a ton of off-roading here. As you can see, this is not a road, so I believe this is the Rubicon Trail, according to Jeep people. I'm still trying to rent one of those. I've driven them a couple times, and yeah, well, I'm gonna put the roof on. Don't want to let any more bugs in, but we're gonna hit Mist Trail. So kind of just a trip update. These seats are a torture device. Something about the way your spinal line's on them, your tailbone hurts. They're terrible. Like I said, the roof off experience is pretty good. Not a ton of actually not a ton of wind noise, and I have all my stuff in the trunk, so I just put these back here and they fit pretty well. You know, I still would not recommend one, but I feel like it's in its element here. A lot of people miss this view. You just got to walk down those rocks there and always take the scenic route. Hope you're not afraid of heights. About halfway up the John Muir Trail from top of Nevada Falls, which was down there, to Glacier Point.
Doesn't get old, does it?
Nope, it does not. Yeah, could have just drove up to here. Actually did yesterday. But what's the fun in that? So for something a little different, at a Lowrider Show today. Actually working this event for work, but there's over 600 of these Lowriders here. A little bit of everything, man. And I mean everything. This is crazy. I can't even begin to cover everything going on here, but yeah. Just another day in the office. This goes on for about 4 or 5 city blocks. It's crazy, man. You know what's really crazy is how well preserved, like, odd examples of cars are. I mean, who else is keeping everything this mint? This is awesome. I don't know, maybe it's just because I've driven so many of these, but I didn't really do much of a driving impressions. So here we go. I'm actually going to rent another car today. I'm flying to another city. I'm going to be in Texas. So we're going to see what Austin, Texas has for Emerald Isle. But yeah, how does it drive? Well, you got to make a ton of steering corrections, kind of like driving a boat. It's a solid front axle vehicle with recirculating ball steering. What's interesting is the steering is worse and less accurate and more busy than my 1985 Suburban was. So take that for what it's worth. GM figured it out in the 70s when that vehicle was engineered, and Mopar still has some ways to go. The steering is terrible, as you can probably tell by all the minor corrections I'm doing just to keep it going straight down the freeway. Powertrain wise, this 4-cylinder turbo, I'm telling you, this is the motor to get, and I'm not a turbo guy, but this is the one to get. It has good power, and the boost comes on strong. The mid-range is really strong, and yeah, above maybe 80 miles an hour, the V6 might be quicker, but maybe not, just because this thing's shaped like a brick. I'm telling you, in a vehicle like this, the 2-liter turbo makes a lot of sense. Here, let me show you some passing power here. So, you know, good passing power, good response. The V6 definitely needs revs, and this engine performs well, you know, right here. I mean, at lower RPM, just accelerating. It's got good torque and good power. These with the e-torque setup, with the 4xe is actually really quick. It's actually scary how quick it is. This is not gonna scare you, but the e-torque version of this is just as quick as the one with 500 horsepower, the 392. It's okay. It's not as quick. It's within half a second to 60. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, steering sucks. Ride's actually pretty good on this Rubicon trim. The 285/75 17s provide a bunch of sidewall, and it actually rides pretty good. It's noticeably better how much better this rides than a base model or a Sahara or whatever the other trims are. Sport Plus, Sport, whatever. You know, Mopar's got a lot of names for essentially the same thing. With the larger tires, it actually rides better, and it actually has bigger sway bars too, which are disconnectable. So the handling's actually a little bit better too, despite the steering sucking. But yeah, see, like right there, that bump would have jostled and, you know, really hurt in a base model. Now, yeah, see, even right there, that was not bad. Tell you, the bigger tires really do better on these things, and it doesn't make the steering any worse. I mean, it's already really bad. So put big tires on a Jeep. Moral of the story. One other thing, I figured out a solution to the seats, because I was having some serious tailbone pain, and like my legs were going numb. It was bad. So I tried adjusting the seat a few different times. I started reading some stuff on the forums, and someone suggested to just take the headrest off. And I love it when there's a simple solution, right, to a problem that seems complex. I took the headrest off, and now the seat's fine. There's something about the way the headrest is angled forward. It puts your like spine misaligned, and it was really hurting my tailbone, like really hurting. And I did a 15-mile hike in Yosemite, and my back and everything, you know, the only thing, it hurt more driving the Jeep than the day after a 15-mile hike. So yeah, taking the headrest off is the way to go. If you own one of these, take the headrest off. You'll be surprised at how much more comfortable it is. But yeah, now these things cost 60, 70. This one's probably 60 grand as equipped. That's ridiculous. This is not worth 60 grand. If you get a base model one of these, they're still in like the 30s. You could get them for like 35, a base model. That has the V6 that I'm not too fond of, but in the two-door, the V6 actually does pretty well because it doesn't need a lot of torque. That's honestly the only way I'd even consider one of these is a two-door with a manual transmission. Actually, you know what? The manual transmission in these is terrible. It just is. This ZF8 speed's actually better. So I wouldn't buy any of these if you want the truth. I'd go buy a Tracker. I'd go buy an Isuzu Amigo. I'd buy an older Jeep Wrangler. I'd buy a YJ. I don't like the interior on TJs, but I'd buy one of those. Or I'd just, buy another Tracker. But if I was buying new, I'm hoping I can get a Bronco. That's going to be my mission, is to find a Bronco on a rental lot to compare it, because I've driven the Bronco a few times, just never on camera. And the Bronco solves a lot of the problems that this has. I mean, do you really need solid axles to commute? You don't. The steering's much better on the Bronco. The interior is a lot more comfortable. It has some other weird drawbacks, but yeah, that's kind of my review about the Jeep Wrangler. It's It's okay. It's the Chrysler Sebring of 2025. They're on every single rental lot. You kind of know what you're going to get. Yeah, you can take the roof off, and that's the party trick. Everything else is, everything else is, you know, you just kind of suffer through for that short period in time that you do enjoy the topless experience. So would I recommend one? No. Would I buy one? No. Am I glad I rented it? Yeah, it was fun to take the roof off and drive through Yosemite. And, you know, once I figured out how to stop my back pain, it's okay. Jeep Wrangler, the Chrysler Sebring of 2025. It's okay. Meh. It's a Jeep thing. I don't understand. You're right. You wouldn't understand? I don't understand. I don't understand why people buy these things. Well, it's really slim pickings here. I could go with a Versa, a base model Cadillac XT4. I've had those. They're terrible. That's the same car as my Equinox was. A Nissan Rogue or... oh, what the hell. Let's go with another white convertible rental car. Let's drive an S650 Mustang. This is a 2025. Okay. First off, what the hell is this interior? Just two screens slapped. This could have been the BMW. Oh, man. This ought to be good. We're definitely dropping the top. Who are you kidding? Let's start this thing up. Okay, we got the legendary Ecoboost. Hey, whatever. We got rear-wheel drive. Does it have ventilated seats? Or are they just heated? Ah, they're heated. That's gonna do me really good in Texas. Whatever. We had the Jeep Wrangler. I think it's only right that we now drive the only other convertible. We had a Miata. We had a... let's see if I can figure out the top here. Okay. We had a Miata. We had a Jeep Wrangler, and now we have a Mustang convertible. We have rounded out every convertible under 50 grand, besides a Bronco. But this'll do. It's rear-wheel drive. Let's see if we can have some fun with it. Let's see how this S650 chassis is. Haven't driven one of these on camera yet, so yeah, what the hell? Let's check it out. All right, first impressions. You know, they might have actually done something here. The seating position gets kind of low enough where it's not like remarkably uncomfortable. That was always my problem with Mustangs. Honestly, since 1964 and a half, I didn't like the seating position of any of them, but this seating position is kind of low, and maybe it's because it's a convertible and I can actually see out of it, but I don't mind the seating position for the first time in a Mustang possibly ever. I could just be biased. I do love having the top down. This is already 10,000 times better than a Miata. I can go 45 miles an hour, still talk to you, and have the top down. All right, some further impressions. Yeah, they've reduced the cowl shake by a lot. The rigidity feels a lot better, like just overall. I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually kind of like this thing. We'll see how it wears on me for the week, but even the tuning of the 2.3, the Ecoboost, I was a little sad when they got rid of the manual with the 4-cylinder, but I'm not gonna lie, the Mustang's manual is awful. The MT82 that they put in the Mustang GTs and what they used to put in the Ecoboosts is terrible. But there is one cool party trick I'll show you guys now. The turbo noises that come out of this thing are incredible. And I'm not just saying that. Like, hang on, you'll see. camera's going to pick it up, but this thing has like a diesel like turbo spool. It sounds great. You know, I don't know what to say. Maybe I'm just really tired. It's very possible. It's 10 at night, and I've been on the road since 5 in the morning. So it's possible that just my current state of mind is deluding me, or maybe it's just the topless experience that I love. But this thing kind of doesn't totally suck anymore. I don't know. Am I feeling okay? Now that is hilarious. $2.39 for gas. I was just in California. I paid $5.25. That is a stark difference. And so is this Mustang. This thing, they have improved in this generation. Ford has not gotten enough credit for the strides they've made here. This thing is a whole league better than the previous generation in terms of rigidity. I'm talking to the convertible specifically. Like specifically, I'm talking to the rental trim convertible. It's more rigid. The seating position's better. The trans tuning's better. The suspension tuning's better. They've really improved the rental car spec of this. Where they haven't improved is the price and all this crap, but I haven't got to that yet. The price is the most inexcusable thing, I think. But hey, they're the only horse in this race. Everybody else gave up on these types of cars, so I guess Ford can charge whatever they want. I'm gonna try and capture this turbo noise again. Try again with the turbo noise. There it is. That sounds good. Yeah, they fixed this thing. Going 75 down the highway with the roof down. Just the right amount of wind. Not too noisy. I can still hear the stereo. The stereo does suck in this car. But turns out it does have ventilated seats. It's not just heated seats. You just have to hold the button down and slide. This infotainment is awful. I mean, it really is. It's pretty much a deal breaker in this car how bad the infotainment is, but that and the price. But I'm telling you, they fixed the seating position, the cowl shake, comfortable ride, even with the top down. I'm telling you, man, I am impressed, and I don't like Mustangs at all, and I'm impressed. So from a usability standpoint, this screen, I just wish there was buttons here. I gotta give Ford some credit though. After that BMW I was in where nothing worked and you had to go off screens, and this I can make look like a Fox body. I could put a big boost gauge here, or I can what else? We could go with the classic Mustang theme, or the new Edge Cobra. Kind of cool. I mean, when digital gauges were coming around, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. This kind of was my envision of how this would all work. And to Ford's credit too, even though it is on a touchscreen, they kept all the the HVAC is on the bottom at all times. So even when you're on Android Auto, you could still change this. And then this Mustang button brings you to the personalizations. Pretty interesting. This is that same Bronco Sport, terrible quality, where you hit this and the whole thing moves. It's just pretty bad quality. Putting the volume knob as far away of a reach as possible is also an interesting choice. Let's talk some more interesting choices on this interior. Obviously, this is the automatic. Okay. No paddle shifters. No manual gate. No control over what gear you're in. 10-speed makes pretty good decisions, but that's weird. Changing the drive modes is here. It's on the steering wheel. You'd think there'd be a switch or toggle here, but nope. That's on the steering wheel. I end up changing the volume on the steering wheel too, because the reach to here while you're driving is... I mean, this is a car made for left-hand drive. It's made for America. Okay, stop start you want there. Why can't that be here and the volume knob be here? Or put them right next to each other for all I care. I don't like the volume knob over there at all. But it is canted to the driver. It's weird. It's a weird interior. But I will say the materials are nicer than the previous generation. And it's actually... This is soft. This isn't hard. It's got ventilated seats. This is soft. This weird little armrest thing here is soft. This is the worst, cheap, hard, nasty plastic ever. And then this like exposed kind of carbon design, it's actually like faux weaved. It's pretty nice. It goes onto the door here too. You know, and this is a 4-cylinder. This isn't the GT, the hottest one. You know, they even put aluminum pedals in this thing. Not a bad rental car interior, but so yeah, normally I'm not a big fan of these screens, but the fact that you can customize it, and the fact that the HVAC stays here, so no matter what screen you're on, you can always use HVAC, is pretty smart. Really don't like HVAC being in there, but if they're gonna do it, Ford has done a pretty decent job with this screen, I must say. It works fast, it connects fast, everything. Haven't had any issues with it, and yeah. I'm about to drive this thing on a 7-hour round trip tomorrow, and I'm actually comfortable. Normally the seating position in Mustangs is a problem. See, but in this one, it doesn't really do it. See how this is flat? The floor used to start here and then go down further, and it just created this situation where you were like slumped over, and it would always hurt my back driving a Mustang. But they've kind of fixed it. The seat is lower, and you can see my legs stick almost straight out, which that's a lot more comfortable in a car like this. Before, your legs would go out and then bend down, and I don't know, it just was... Mustangs since 1964 haven't been comfortable, and I'm not going to call this one comfortable, but it's bearable. It's actually drivable. Yeah, I'm kind of blown away. I really want to drive a GT with a manual, and see if the MT82 is as bad as I remember it. In the previous generation, I was considering getting one of those as a convertible, and I drove it, and man, that transmission is terrible. The shift feel was terrible. It was brand new, and it already felt like second and third wanted to grind. The gear spacing was terrible. It was just a terrible transmission. But I'm sure it hasn't gotten any better. I wish Ford would just put a Tremec in these things like GM did in F-bodies since '93. But yeah, this is it. If you want a muscle car, this is the only thing left. Kind of crazy. You know what else is crazy? How much better the visibility is in a convertible without the stupid pillar. Nobody talks about that, but the visibility is much better in a convertible version of one of these. Yeah, just cruising down the highway here. In terms of road noise, not too bad, especially for a convertible. Just to recap of my video yesterday. I made one yesterday and I said I really liked it, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy, but yeah, this thing kind of just drives like a normal car. It does all right. The passing power is definitely pretty good. So let's say you're going, I don't know, what, 60-ish, and need to pass somebody. Here, let's actually get it into. There we go. We got the boost gauge. All right, now that we've got our gauges set up, we can talk about how it drives and boost gauges and everything like that. So let's give this a shot here. Let's say I'm going, 70 and I want to pass somebody, and well, I'd say it's got good passing power. Yeah, that's pretty good passing power. I don't think it needs to be any faster. I mean, obviously a GT with 150 more horsepower is would be fine. But yeah, no, it's got good power. What's really interesting too is it keeps revving all the way through the rev range. The early Ecoboosts fell off really hard up top. This seems to keep pulling. The tuning is much better on this. So yeah, overall, I'm impressed with this thing. I cannot believe I'm saying that. This is my favorite Chrysler Sebring I've been in a very long time. One thing I've never liked about Mustangs is just the traction. Now, these are all-season factory tires, which don't discredit a brand because of the factory tires. It has to meet fuel economy, rolling resistance, comfortable ride, noise, all this stuff besides traction goes into what goes in on your car most of the time, especially on a base model. But yeah, we are skating all over the road. That was 60-ish. If it had traction, it would have done a lot better. That was supposed to be with all the traction control off, but it's still cut power. Still don't like all the electronics and stuff, but not bad. Maybe we'll try it again here. It has a 0 to 60 timer, which we're going to use when I'm not in a city environment. But, yeah. What the hell? One more launch isn't going to hurt anyone. Oh, traffic ends, merge right. See if we can win. All right, this time I'm going to try and pedal it a little bit instead of just flooring it. Maybe we can get a cleaner launch. Nope, no traction. Okay, so I reset the trip odometer. We're taking this thing on a 500-mile round trip. We're gonna see how she does fuel economy wise. Should be interesting. Yeah, I really don't like Mustangs in general, and I still don't really like this styling or the price. The price is ridiculous. I looked it up. As equipped, this is like a $45,000 car with a 4-cylinder. It's 56 grand to get this with a V8 and a convertible. That's just absurd. Especially when you can get a regular cab, short bed, F150 with the same 5-liter engine for 45, which is still way too much money, but I don't know where they're coming up with the price for this, because this does not have 4-wheel drive. This platform and chassis has been pretty similar forever, but yeah, let's see how it does on this road trip. Here we go. Okay, I think I got it set up right. 0 to 60, start type automatic, start, press OK on the steering wheel to start the timer. averaging around 27.5 miles a gallon. It goes up and down, but going around 80 miles an hour. Not bad, not great. I mean, honestly, it's about the same as my LS1 F-body gets, but this gets, this honestly has about the same amount of horsepower. It's crazy how much boost they shove through this. And the improved tuning on this new Ecoboost, I'm going to try and beat that 5.6 0 to 60. I think I could get it down to around 5. I mean, it definitely runs out of steam up top. It's no V8 up top. I mean, yeah, above 80, my Firebird would demolish this thing. But this is the base trim rental car, it's not that bad. This is a really good Chrysler Sebring. I don't know how else to really describe it. It's a Chrysler Sebring. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about the price, which is obnoxious. This is not a $45,000 car. I mean, it is, but it just isn't. I mean, actually, I think it might be 50 the way it's equipped, because this is the premium with air-conditioned seats and all this other stuff. This is not a $50,000 car. But then again, a Miata's about the same price. Now, you can't really compare this to a Miata. I mean, you can, because they're both convertibles. But you know what you can compare this to is a Bronco in Ford's own family. And you can get this same engine with four-wheel drive, 2 or 4 doors for cheaper. So the price of this thing's absurd. You can get an F150 with a V8 and 4-wheel drive, or you could get a Bronco if you want the topless experience with this same engine for cheaper. The price makes no sense to this, but it's a good rental convertible. I see dozens of these on the rental lot all the time, so maybe people aren't buying them, but Enterprise and National rental cars sure are. Well, I'm impressed with the fuel economy. I didn't go as far as I thought I would today, only 342 miles, but yeah, 29.5, that's pretty good. I was not exactly taking it easy on this thing, and yeah, it's comfortable, it's quiet, it's smooth, kind of boring, especially being automatic with no paddle shifters. But it's a great rental car at a not so great price. What rental convertible will I get next? I'm telling you, the only thing left is a Bronco. There's really nothing else. Miatas, Wranglers, Broncos. I could probably get an Audi whatever convertible if they still make them. I don't even know if they do. I know BMW still makes a 4 Series convertible. But yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know what else to say about this thing. It's not bad. I used to really hate Mustangs because of the seating position. They definitely fixed the seating position, so I could actually drive this one, which is nice. And yeah, the top works pretty well. It's relatively quiet, comfortable, smooth. I don't know. Definitely boring, and this infotainment's a little weird. But again, it's better than the BMWs or the Audis or the Hyundais or Chevy's infotainment even. This is pretty decent for being all on the screen. They kind of thought of everything, and I don't know. Ford Mustangs are usually not a well thought out product, and I guess that's why I'm so surprised. This really is everything except the price. At 45 to 50 grand, for the convertible one, I'd never get a coupe. 45 to 50 grand, I would need a Bronco or an F-150 for that money. I wouldn't go with this form factor. Because let's be honest, the back seats are still for insurance purposes only. And I live in a climate where 4-wheel drive is almost necessary. Not completely, but essentially is. So, yeah, Ford Mustang. It's a Chrysler Sebring. It's also kind of a worse Bronco. But, I mean, the Bronco wouldn't get 30 miles a gallon, so there's trade-offs to everything. But, yeah. Would I buy this over a Bronco or Wrangler? No. I cannot believe they're the same price, but, yeah, that's the Bronco. That's the Wrangler. That's the Mustang. What's the difference? They're all rental convertibles. So just some more playing around with stuff, because that's just kind of what I do. I have it in drag strip mode, which is even better than sport mode. Check out how fast these shifts are. And it actually holds the gear to redline. Driving around in drag strip mode all the time. I still wish it had paddle shifters so I could control the behavior a bit, but this is the mode I did the 0 to 60 in, and I timed it. It went from 7 seconds to 5.6 in this mode, and I think I could beat 5.6. I'm gonna try again, so stay tuned. Okay, it took an insane amount of time, but I've got it dialed in. I have traction control off. I have it in drag strip mode to shift right. Man, this just not like focusing on this gauges. I have it in, yeah, drag strip mode, aggressive shifting, track steering, traction control off, stability control off, launch control active. Let's see if we can beat 5.6 to 60. Let's try again. Fun, but that was a bad one. And the timer didn't work. The timer is finicky. I've got it as low as 5.51. I feel like I could crack this thing into the like 5.2, 5.3s. Okay. I've gotta be able to get it quicker. Is all it's gonna do. I mean, I am on 87. This is a convertible, and it is 100 degrees out, so I guess that's all she wrote. Yeah, it's about the best I can do. It's 5.5 something. That was a pretty clean launch. I don't know if it's going to get any quicker. But you guys should know by now, I'm going to keep trying. I live by one motto in life. Never buy a fucking rental car. Alright, I think I finally have found the stretch of Mexico I'm looking for. Pavement seems to be in pretty good shape. It's a dead-end road, so I don't have to worry about traffic or anything. Let's try this again. Alright, could have done without the burnout. It was fun, though. Oh, I'm not the only one with this idea. I love it. I love it. I am not the only one who's gone down here to do some 0 to 60 testing. All right. Let's give it another go. it cancels it right when you're about to. You need a little bit of time. It's just stupid. All right, let's get in the rubber. Everybody knows rubber on rubber traction is good. Okay, let's try again. All right, that didn't work. Nah, I think 5.5 is all she's got. Let's do one more. We got time. Very limited wheel spin. I don't know. I guess it's just 100 degrees out on 87 octane, and that's about all she's gonna do. But since my flight's delayed, we're gonna do another run. Why not? Okay, let's just rip it off the jump. Actually, you know what? Let's turn traction control on. Let's put it in, because I had a custom mode. Let's just try it in track mode. That way, it'll be set up the way it's supposed to be. Cool. Okay, acceleration timer, automatic. Nah, that's all she's got, guys. I don't know what else to say. You know what? I'll send you guys off with a quarter-mile one. Might as well. Why not? We're here. This is what happens when my flight gets delayed. Oh, man. All right. We've got our start. Okay, let's get a quarter mile going. Yeah, not the most impressive time in the world. I mean, the launch was not ideal, but yeah, all right. I stick by what I said. Do not buy a rental car. We've had a breakthrough. It turns out that track mode has different traction settings than drag strip mode. Probably should have known that. But drag strip mode actually has some form of traction control on. So we're about to go again and see if we can beat our time. That was cool. It didn't slip as much, but I don't see how we're beating that. I think that's it. I think 5.5 is all she wrote. But that was interesting. It definitely has different programming in drag strip mode without when you leave it alone, when you don't turn off traction control and you just put it into drag strip mode. Really interesting. All these drive modes and stuff, like I said, it's kind of fun and kind of interesting to dick around with. I wish you could just get in the car and drive it, though. This is why I like older vehicles. I've spent hours trying to figure out how to go 0 to 60. I know how to go 0 to 60. The car doesn't know how to go 0 to 60. I'm happy. I got it to 5.4. Only took about 20 tries. That was a perfect stretch of freshly paved asphalt, drag strip mode, don't screw with the settings, leave traction control on. That is your quickest way to 60 in this thing. 5.4 on 87 pump gas at 100 degrees out is not bad. It definitely falls off up top, as you guys saw by my quarter-mile run. This thing would get roasted by anything that actually runs, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. This 0 to 60 in 5 is a little misleading because you got to really launch it, and it relies on the 10 speeds, insane gearing. But hey, 5.4 is 5.4. I'm taking it. I'm done. I'm really done this time. I swear. I think. Travel update. I'm back at the rental car center in Austin. They canceled my flight, so I found this F150 that has a Coyote in it. I know I drove one of these with the 2.7. I've driven a ton of these with this V8, but what the hell, What's another car rental review? 2025 F150 two-wheel drive, because we are in Texas here. Two-wheel drive, V8. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Well, first impressions. V8 sound good still. Yep, can confirm that. Definitely sounds good. It's gonna be interesting to see how this compares to the 2.7 I drove not that long ago. So yeah, let's see what the Coyote's all about. The other thing I really love about F-150s, it's just how comfortable they are. The seat's comfortable, the visibility's great, how it drops down, the phone holder. There's a reason why they sell so many of these things. I'm telling you, regular cab, short bed, F-150, driving this thing for 30 seconds already confirmed that I'd buy this over a Bronco or a Mustang or anything. It's just so comfortable. It is a land yacht, though. This one's a 6.5-foot bed, crew cab. It's about as long as an F-150 gets. So yeah, let's see about power here. We're gonna get on the freeway. I have no idea. I forget. I drive too many cars. I forget how to change the drive mode. Oh, it's down here. Because of course it is. Let's get this thing into the... Not slippery. Oh, I remember now. This thing's stupid. It only lets you go one direction. Yep, I remember. Tow haul. No. Not eco. Sport. There we go. It's crazy how aggressive the transmission is. It really changes the behavior. All right, let's see about passing power. Yeah, it's got passing power. And I like the V8 a lot better than the turbo. The turbo is quicker, though. There's no denying that even the 2.7 is quicker than this. But I just like the predictable nature where it's not surging or doing anything weird. And yeah, the sound, really. The sound, the predictability, the reliability. I still like V8s. This is pretty incredible. This thing's averaged 19 miles a gallon since new. It's got 1,700 miles on it. 19.4 on the MPG. It is two-wheel drive, but that's pretty good for a rental car because, you know, a lot of people drive these things similarly to the way I do. So that's pretty impressive. Oh, and this is the truck I'd buy. Again, with no back doors. I'd buy a regular cab. Why? Because it's faster. Come on. And easier to park and maneuver. And it looks better. And I have a Suburban for hauling people. I don't really need a crew cab truck. But, man, I just love all the leg room and visibility, and yeah, this thing's sweet. I get it. I get it. Okay, this thing has some lane keeping that I did not realize. Here, I just turned it on. I turned it off because it scared the crap out of me. I thought I was about to lose a tie rod. It is frightening. Watch this. Okay. It's got this lane keep going, right? It's not gonna do it. It turns the wheel by itself completely. Nothing you can do about it. Just turns the wheel by itself. Yeah, we're maybe I won't demonstrate that. We're turning that one off. That scared the crap out of me. I really hate modern cars. Just as I said I would consider buying one of these, I still really hate modern cars. Never mind, Ford. Never mind. And it's not your fault, Ford. This thing's cool. It's just the state of current vehicles. Just a tip, if anyone's renting a car and wants to know, without popping the hood, you could just pop the hood. No one's stopping you. It's a free country. But if the red line is 6,800 RPM like that, it's a 5-liter. If it's 6,500, or it's more like 6,400 indicated, you'll be able to tell. It's between the notches. You'll be able to tell. 6,400 indicated, it's a 2.7. 6,000 indicated, it's a 3.5. Little trick, but you probably already knew that if you rent cars as much as I do. So, not much of a rental review on the on this F-150. I already reviewed one, so there's really not much else to talk about except the really bad safety tech, which I touched on. You got to turn that all off. That's new for 2025. This lane centering is violent, has a mind of its own. And yeah, I'm gonna be back at the airport in 5 minutes. So yeah, would I get the 5-liter over the 2.7 or 3.5? Absolutely. It sounds phenomenal. The power level's honestly pretty similar. This would definitely walk away on higher speeds, though. You know, the small turbos just really don't do well. For towing and stuff, the torque was probably better on the Ecoboost, not gonna lie. But sound, reliability, and yeah, sound, reliability, and it just feels right to have a V8 in a truck. You know, I don't know what to call that one, but yeah. Would I get it equipped like this? No, I wouldn't. I don't like a crew cab, 6.5 foot bed. I do like the massive fuel tank, but everything else about it doesn't really do it for me. The turning radius is bad. Like I said, if I wanted to bring people, I'd just get a Suburban or something. But yeah, that's just a quick rental review of the third rental car I've been in the last 8 days. Stay tuned, because in 2 more days we'll be in another one in Portland. So gotta love traveling, kind of.